Well, that's not gonna work. Jeez. What's up, guys? Who's here? Let me get in the room here and we'll do the damn thing. What up? Just getting it set up, Tony Bauer. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All right, guys, we are 3 minutes before we actually go live. We got Normal Joe in the house. We got Land Down Under Bear in the house. We got Tony Bauer joining us. Let me just turn the sound down so I don't hear myself on a 5-second delay. Darren Davenport is here. What's going on, my man? It goes all right. We are 2 minutes from going. Oh, thanks, Chaser. Got my He-Man gear on. Got my Modelo ready to go. Jim Simon's in the house. What's up, buddy? We are 2 minutes away from being officially live. We're just getting things going, getting it set up. How you guys feeling tonight? How you guys doing? I got to, as soon as Christian Hafer gets here, I have to make sure I display the Michael Myers figure so that he doesn't lose his mind. What's up? Dan, my man, is here. Dan Fryermuth in the house. Dan, you can appreciate this. I got Michael Myers here because I'm trying to prevent. Never mind. I don't know where to put him. Let's put him up here. Let's put him up here attacking my pet monster. There. That's as good as it's going to get. All right, 10 of you guys are here. It's 8:29. We still got another minute to go. Uh-oh. I think that's going to have to be good enough. I think we hit like 41 last time, so we'll see how it goes tonight. Well, my clock officially says 8:30. 13 of you are here. It is 8:30. We are live for the third. Is it the second? Ian Ward is in the house. What's up, Jason? I love 1980s icons. We know a former professional wrestler with face paint and tassels, the Ultimate Warrior. Yes. Love the Ultimate Warrior. It's 8:30. Oh, 8:30 a.m. Land Down Under Bear. What's going on over there? What are you doing at 8:30 in the morning? You sitting in the office? You sitting home? What's going on? You get to call in sick because you get to do the live stream? 14 of you are here now. What is up, everybody? We are just getting this thing started. You have not missed anything. It is 8:30. Bill says he's late. Bill, it started at 8:30, buddy. We haven't even gotten going yet. 15 of you are here. We're just kind of hanging out, man. We're waiting for everybody to trickle in, waiting for that conversation to get going, all the questions to start rolling in. Tony Bauer, love the food episode. My McDonald's still has honey sauce. Retro Dave is in the house. Number 15. Thank you, Retro Dave. Land Down Under is about to head out for breakfast. I don't work this week. Nice. I don't work next week. Good for you, man. Oh, it's 10:01, Bill. Yeah, you're right. I'm Do you have the power? Wearing that t-shirt says, I always have the power. Darren Davenport. I am full of power. Or something like that. 16 are here. Just to let you guys know, the ones that are here, we have gotten up to like Punky Brewster, big fan of the Punky, or as our former co-host used to say, Punky. We're up to like 892 subscribers, guys. Well, YouTube is doing something weird. I don't know what YouTube. Yeah, I know. We got the Modelo. I prefer the Modelo Negro, but Modelo Especial with a little lime in the house tonight. YouTube's doing something weird. Last week, I went from 887 to 881 overnight. And then over the past week, I've gotten to 892. So I don't know what they're doing. I read a little bit that they kind of go and they, if you're not active on the channel, they just pull your subscription. They pull you from being a subscriber. I don't know. It's weird. Seth Anderson is here. He's talking about the beer of choice. Thank you, sir. Got a couple more of these in the on deck, if you will. Toby Atkinson is here. Toby Atkinson, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk a little bit about my man Toby Atkinson tonight. Let me just say hi to Xavier Sherwood. What up, my man? You are finally here at one of our live shows. It's crazy how the channel has grown. I agree, Normal Joe. I am so excited that this channel has gone from like 50 subscribers to almost 900. That's crazy. My man, who's a big fan of eggs, is here. Eventually, the cream always rises to the top. You'll be at 1,000 in no time. That is a major goal. 1,000 subscribers is a major goal for me in this channel. You know how this goes, guys. You all get way ahead of yourselves. 18 of you here now. You all get way ahead of yourselves, and I'll catch up on the questions as we go along. But first, I want to talk about somebody very special, Toby Atkinson. So the first thing you guys need to do is go on YouTube and type in the name Toby Atkinson. If you like some country music, go check out Toby Atkinson. Is there any better country singer name than Toby Atkinson, by the way? And Toby, what's the deal? Were you born with that name, or is your real name like, Doug Jefferson or something? But Toby Atkinson, perfect country singer name. Go check out his YouTube stuff. He's going to be a celebrity someday. Toby asked me if he could send me some drawings of some wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Jake Snake Roberts. And I was like, cool, of course. I'm honored. Thank you very much. They come in the mail. I take a look at them. They're portraits. Toby Atkinson has some ridiculous talent, and so go check out the Instagram page for the New 80s Revolution. I showed them off. Most of you guys have seen them already, but Toby Atkinson drew some amazing pencil drawings of Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and Jake the Snake. And of course, I was not going to accept them unless Mr. Atkinson signed them and autographed them to me, because they're going to be worth millions someday, because this guy's going to be huge, and I'm going to have his original drawings, and then I'm going to get to retire. So thank you, Toby Atkinson. I'm always blown away and humbled and just nuts when people send me stuff. It's crazy. All right, you listened to me for a minute without asking questions, so let's catch up. Tony Bauer had the He-Man sword as a kid. I got to find that one. MOC, mint on card. Yeah. You guys know the story about the He-Man stuff, man. I collected it and then sold it, and it's so awesome, and I wish that I had it still. But the He-Man sword, didn't it come with the shield as well? And then there was a Skeletor sword with shield too. Pretty awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Let me catch up. Bill Elson, are you going to watch the Greatest Royal Rumble? Yes. I'm actually going to watch the Greatest Royal Rumble because it just seems like it's going to be awesome. They're doing some matches that they wouldn't normally do because I don't think that they're doing like storyline stuff in the Greatest Royal Rumble. I think they're just putting matches out there for the fun of it. So you're getting Undertaker versus Chris Jericho. That's ridiculous. Triple H versus John Cena. I mean, that, you know. So yeah, I'm actually going to watch the Greatest Royal Rumble. Gary Furr, Jason, are you getting the new retro throwback ring from Mattel? Absolutely. I will get it, and I'm going to get the Ric Flair. You know, and Xavier knows that I cannot wait to get the Ric Flair figure. But if they don't come out with some new, some classic names, some retro names, I won't get them. I do love them, and I love the fact that they're, you know, making these Hasbro-style figures, Kevin Owens and New Day and, you know, whoever else they're putting out, but I really only want the retro ones. So if they continue to put out retro ones, I'll continue to buy them. Land Down Under Bear says, have you picked up any new toys this week? The only things that I've been picking up, to be honest with you, are the Ghostbusters figures, which are kind of right there. And we're going to be doing the Kenner Real Ghostbusters Spotlight episode in 2 episodes from now. We're going to start our first episode of Wrestling with the Past, where we talk about the ECW figures. And then the episode right after that is going to be a spotlight on the Kenner Ghostbusters. So that's going to be like showing off the figures, talking about them, and then basically telling you what I've been picking up over the past couple of months, because all I've been buying lately are Ghostbusters figures. It Cometh for Egg says, Toby Atkinson's name is Tex Whiskey. No, what a terrible country singer name. Wouldn't that be awesome if his real name was Tex Whiskey and he thought, that's not a good enough country singer name. Let's change it to Toby Atkinson. I think I'd really love to. Do you think anybody in the world is really named Tex Whiskey? That's probably the best Texan cowboy name on the planet. Or Turd Ferguson. Yeah, Seth. Toby Atkinson's real name could be Turd Ferguson. Could be. Ian Ward. Oh, I just lost you again. Man, you guys are bringing it. 25 of you here. That's cool. I don't know if we're going to get to 40 again, but that's okay. I just love everybody who's here. Ian Ward says, hey, Jason, what's up? You know the movie Ghostbusters? Yeah, I've heard of it. Dan Fryermuth, would you have rather had an LJN of Danny Davis or Uncle Elmer, Young Stallions tag team, or Fabulous Rougeaus, Dino Bravo or Ron Bass, Gorilla Monsoon or announcer tired Jesse Ventura? Good God, man. Dan Fryermuth, you are one of the nicest guys on the planet. I can't wait for you to get your job and move to Rochester so we can hang out. But these questions, man. Okay, Danny Davis or Uncle Elmer, I'll say. Man. Young Stallions or the Rougeaus. Dino Bravo or Ron Bass. You can't pick. But Ron Bass, I guess, because he's more cartoony and would have made an awesome LJN with that whip hanging from his hand. Gorilla Monsoon or announcer attire, Jesse. Boy, I always want a new figure, so I'd go with Gorilla Monsoon. But those are, man, that's gonna make my brain hurt all night. B Todd, T Bizzle, T Bob, Bat Daddy Super Son, in the house. Got the package. Thank you. You're welcome. I didn't know what extra special bonus stuff to give you. That's all from my stuff. I just kind of went around the room and was like, all right, what can I give? So some of that stuff was just, or all of that stuff was just hanging out here. So I don't know if it's tickles your fancy or not, but hopefully you and your kid enjoy it. Do you like Molson Canadian beer, says Jim Simon? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's not too many beers I don't like. I mean, if I'm mowing the lawn and it's hot and summery, yeah, the Molson Canadian here is sold in 16-ounce cans, and it's cheap. It's at one of the gas stations in town. It's $4.99 for a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans. So yeah, I'll drink Molson Canadian all day. My man, Great Expectations 320 is in the house, and we got a very special 24 of you are here. We got a very special update on Great Expectations 320. David is the one who made our intro video, the one that you see now on the shows going forward. David is also going to be making my Wrestling with the Past intro video, which is coming soon. And David is also a very talented singer and guitarist. And I thought that it would be nice to trade a little bit of his talent or his work on the channel, his intro making skills. So he's going to be rocking the talent making the Wrestling with the Past video or intro. And in return, David is going to be debuting on this channel. We're going to have a live concert. We're going to have a concert of 80s tunes sung by David, Great Expectations 320, coming up in the future on this channel. All right. Bat Daddy Super Son featured you on our last video. Well, before the last, and put links to your YouTube on the description. Thank you, Bat Daddy. I will be checking that out tonight. I appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe you are the one responsible for all my new subscribers. Who else is going? Oh, 27 of you are here. That's awesome. Normal Joe, are you going to do a Mattel Food Fighters review? It's an amazing toy line and doesn't get appreciated as much as it should. So the deal with the spotlight or toy reviews is that I want to be able to own the toy and show it off to you. I want to be able to have it right here and show it to you instead of just pulling clips. I don't have any Food Fighters. If they do make their way into the collection in the future, then absolutely I will do a spotlight. But I want to have the actual toy to show it to you. Bill Elson, they're coming out with a Hasbro Macho Man. I saw that. And I will get that one. It's an NWO style Macho Man. I think it's black and white anyway. I don't think it says NWO on it. But I will grab that one. That's awesome. I'm good with that. Ian Ward, Jason, I just listened to 80s music on my Tuscaloosa radio station app on our house. Hey, man, listen to that 80s music all day and all night, man. Darren Davenport says, just picked up a book today, Film Posters of the 80s. That sounds awesome. Yeah, there's so many cool books out there. I went to, where was I? I was at Best Buy the other day, and they had a Super Nintendo book, like probably a listing of every game. Just probably, it was in plastic, so I couldn't look through it, but they've got a Super Nintendo or a history of Super Nintendo game book out at Best Buy. And a year ago or so, before they closed, FYE had an Atari 2600 book, or like the art of the 2600. There was so many, like every game's cover art was featured in that book. Yeah, I actually, Chaser, me and my kid are watching the Real Ghostbusters on Netflix right now. And if his mother finds out, she's gonna kill me, I think. But yeah, now I have the discs. And I always said, I'm never going to watch them on Netflix. I'm never going to stream them. But it's just so easy to plug away. So I watched the first 4 episodes of The Real Ghostbusters because that's kind of the way I like to do things. If I'm collecting a line, I like to watch the cartoon along with it. And so I'm watching The Real Ghostbusters. I just started. We're up to episode 4. And the shows are really good, actually. It cometh for egg. Who gave a thumbs down? I will fight you right now. Yeah, if we got a thumbs down, see, that's what I'm talking about. Last talk, I said, come to the show, come to the live stream, and tell me who you are and why you keep leaving the thumbs down. The only thing I can think of is that these are fans of my former partner and feel an obligation to thumbs down all my stuff. So if you're here, if you're watching, just tell us who you are. Come say who you are and tell us, I mean, just engage in some conversation with us. Tell us exactly what you don't like about the show or what you don't like about the first 15 minutes of this live stream that you felt the need to block out your entire night come here and hang out with us and leave a thumbs down. Retro Dave says, here's a really important question. How do you keep all the dust off those action figures? I don't. I I don't know if maybe I just don't collect much dust down here, but you'd be surprised. Like some of this stuff hasn't moved in a while, and it's dust free. Maybe some spider webs. I'll knock the spider webs down every once in a while, but not dust. No dust. Caden is in the house. What's up, Caden? I always see you hanging out on the Facebook. How are you, sir? Tony Bauer says, who wins? Chucky versus Leprechaun. Okay, never seen Leprechaun. I know. There's so many things of the 80s that I should see, haven't seen, if I'm going to call myself a fan. So I got to go with Chucky because, first of all, he's got like 13 films. So I got to go with Chucky. Ian Ward says, Jason, do you see any lunchboxes of the 80s? I have, 20 of them. So yeah, they're right there. Right there. I see them all the time when I go to flea markets and toy shows. Flea markets, they're the right price. They're $5. Toy shows are the wrong price. They're $50. Bill Elson says, I didn't like WrestleMania that much. Yeah, I didn't watch it, to be honest with you. I read about it. I like WrestleManias to be, I like them to have some shocking moments. I mean, if Hulk Hogan had come back, then to me it would have been a priceless WrestleMania. Gary, Bad Daddy says, was awesome. I think you're talking about the package, and I appreciate that. Gary Furr, Jason, do you or does your mom have any photos from the Christmas where you received a washing machine box of Oh, man. Guys, I'm telling you now, if you have children or if you just want, to capture your own memories, take photos and never lose them ever. We had photos of that Christmas. We had photos of the box. We had photos of all the guys set up after Christmas. And I have no idea where they're gone. They don't exist. My grandparents, so it would have been my grandparents who had them, and they died in 2011 and 2009. And I went through all their photos, and I have them, and there's not. Those photos are gone. That would have been amazing to have those pictures. So lesson learned for all of you guys, take pictures and don't ever lose them. Your kids will be so happy 20 years from now. Dan Fryermuth, did you get Leinenkugel's beer? We do. They make the shandies, right, Dan? I've had their lemon shandy, so yes. Toby Atkinson, greatness. Toby Atkinson, I love that guy. I just love Toby Atkinson. He's my new favorite person. It's just that easy, guys. 28 of you are here, including somebody who gave us a negative, who isn't coming out and telling who you are. Don't leave it. It's so passive aggressive. It's cowardly. Tell us who you are, and we can talk about it. What makes you so unhappy about this show? Tell me. Triple is here. Sorry, I'm late. That's okay. Land Down Underbear says, I wish they'd made LJN tag teams of the Bushwhackers, the Mega Powers, Demolition, and Powers Pain. We all do. In fact, the very next series was announced it would have been the 1990 series. The Bushwhackers, Smash, and the Barbarian were planned. So we would have gotten Powers of Pain, and we would have gotten Demolition. But unfortunately, the line stopped at the worst time it could have stopped. We had so many figures that were going to blow our minds. Bat Daddy Super Son, I added some commercials in our toy hunts as a TRU, its new 80s, as a tribute to its new. Thank you. But I'm using more 90s and topic-based commercials, so not being a ripoff. You are not a ripoff, my friend. I love your stuff. It's so fun to see you and your kid out there having a good time. Throw those commercials in there, man. Bat Daddy Super Son says, hey, I'm a singer, guitarist, and 80s aficionado. But of course, I'm all the way in Myrtle Beach. Well, get yourself up there. Get yourself up here. Sit on the couch. Live concert for you as well, Bat Daddy Super Son. Ian Ward, Jason, what movie features Tab, Pepsi Free, Coffee, and DeLorean? Back to the Future? I think. Joe Smith. Hi, Jason. What is up, my man, Joe Smith? 25 of you here. David Torok, thanks for giving that update, for plugging my channel again, dude. Of course, man. You're going to be sitting, you're going to be rocking it out right here, doing a little Jenny, a little 8675309. And I was thinking, David, let me know if you're okay with this, but I'd like you to close out the concert with Closing Time, Semisonic. I mean, it's kind of just a cliche way to close a concert out, but what's going to be special about it? Backup singer, right here. Backup singer. What do you think? Triple just did the thumbs up. Thank you, Triple. Who's the thumbs down? I still want to know. Maybe it's Chris. No, it's not Chris. I'm just kidding. No drama, boys and girls. Got no problem with that guy. I have a problem with somebody coming on here and leaving a negative just to leave a negative. Dan Fryermuth, which Hasbro would you have rather had, Diesel or Jeff Jarrett? You know, I've seen so many Diesel customs. And they released that that Mannix figure, that bootleg with the Diesel head. That the rumor is that was the actual Diesel head. So I would have rather had a Jeff Jarrett because I think that would have been a more unique figure. Dig a dirt, don't feed the trolls. I know. It's just so annoying. So annoying for somebody to come on here with nothing else to do on a Sunday night and leave a negative just to support their boys over at the other channel. Retro Dave, wow, you're lucky then. It takes me an hour to vacuum the dust off my games collection every few weeks. I don't know. I'm in a finished basement. I don't know. I don't know why I don't get dirt down here or dust. I don't know. Maybe we have a maid that I don't know about. I'm not sure. Triple says, Chucky scared the crap out of me as a kid. Yeah, Chucky was like the My Buddy. Like I got a My Buddy over there, and it's basically a very polite version of Chucky. Caden Chaser says, what's your favorite lunchbox you own? Okay. That's a great question. Man, there's so many. Probably one of the, if you can see it right there, right next to that yellow Garfield lunchbox. That is probably the first wrestling lunchbox. It's got Hogan on. It's from '84, and I had that in school, and I'd have to say that's my favorite one. The one next to it, the Garfield one right there. The story behind that some of you guys might already know. 31 of you are here. The story behind that Garfield lunchbox right there is that my wife, there's a picture of me at all of 8 years old, coming off the bus, first day of school, 8 years old, whatever that is, second grade, I don't know. And I'm coming off the bus and I've got my Crayola backpack, or not even a backpack, it's like a briefcase kind of thing. And I've got my Garfield lunchbox in the other hand, and it is that exact lunchbox right there. So she went and found the lunchbox online. So I have the same lunchbox that I had as a kid at 8 years old in that photo. Bat Daddy Super Son, I'm friends with Barbarian, so of course I need an LJN of him. That's awesome. How did you become friends with the Barbarian? Bill Elson, we would have gotten a brother love. Yes, that was next up. Dan Fryermuth is jealous of his friendship with the Barbarian. Xavier says, I know I asked you about Flair already, but when you meet Hogan, what do you want to get signed? I only ask because it's so difficult for me to decide. Okay, you might be surprised by this, Xavier. Hogan is $99 for a photo and $99 for an autograph. I could go buy a Hulk Hogan autograph offline for $10 if I really wanted it. I'm not an autograph guy. I'm more of a photo guy. So I'm only going to be paying the $99 photo fee for the professional photo op with Hogan. I'm actually not going to get anything signed unless I just get, I don't know, unless I change my mind. I'm only going to pay the $100 for the photo. I don't know if that's crazy or not. Dan Fryerman says, what 1991 WCW wrestler would you choose to have a Galoob made that didn't? 91? I mean, I don't have the roster in front of me. Was Johnny B. Bad there in 91? Colorful figure. Should have, you know, if he was. So you got to look at the ones that they did make as prototypes, like Ricky Morton they made, Diamond Stud, PN News, which is just a horrible, forgettable character. I'd go with Johnny B. Bad. Darren Davenport says, Darren Davenport. Short and sweet again from me, Jason. The difference is a time difference early. Just wanted to stop by again. We'll message you this week, introduce myself. Good night, adios. Darren, thank you for coming by. Get some sleep. Come back and watch the replay. You'll hear all the fun and the shenanigans after we're done. Again, thank you for being here, Darren Davenport. Nunez is in the house. Was there a Brother Love LJN that you know of? No. I've seen his image on the back of black cards, but only customs. Correct. I'm now believing 100% that Brother Love, Bad News Brown, Bushwhackers, Barbarian, and Smash never had figures made. Never. They had real life photos on the back of the cards telling you what was coming. You would think by now we would have seen some kind of prototype. So no, only customs to my knowledge have ever been shown. And stuff has been happening like on that Wrestling Figs website. I mean, they're showing the heads for, somebody discovered the heads for the next series, the Orange Card series, which would have been Jeff Jarrett and Diesel and Lex Luger, the USA Lex Luger, Men on a Mission. And then Zack Ryder recently purchased a prototype of a tugboat figure. So all this stuff is coming out and being seen, and nothing ever with that missing, that next series of LJN. So I'm going to say that we have never any actual footage of that. Footage or photos, whatever. Joker, hey, Jason the Joker here. Just wanted to say, hey, what is up, Joker 68? Hope you're feeling good, my man. Where's the Christian Hafer? Right here. If you take a look, he's in the background. Right here. Only because the camera does not show him, and I'd have to get some kind of a stand to have him sitting right here, because I put him on the table and you can't see him. I put him on the computer, you can only see the top of his head. So I'm putting him right here on My Pet Monster, and he's slashing the hell out of My Pet Monster. He is no match for My Pet Monster is no match for Michael Myers. Michael Myers is the king of the horror characters. He destroys My Pet Monster with a few strikes of his sterling silver knife. So please, Christian Hafer, I remembered you, my friend. Bat Daddy Super Son, my other channel has my old 80s tribute band on it, doing 8675309 and Journey, Bon Jovi, Whitesnake, Prince, etc. That's awesome. I will look at that. Caden says styling and profiling. You got it. Cubano Negra. What's up, Cubano Negra? You are a new sub. We got a new sub tonight, guys. Cubano Negra is in the house. He is probably sub number 892 or whatever. That's fantastic. Welcome, Cubano. He says, loving the content. What do you think about the new WWE Hasbro Retro line? When I first heard about it, I was beyond thrilled. They started giving me the old school figures, the retro figures that we wanted. Unfortunately, they made characters that they'd already made, like Ultimate Warrior, and who else is up there? Mankind. I picked up a Mankind figure. Steve Austin I got. If they continue to make real old school guys that maybe never got a Hasbro figure, I'd be thrilled with the line. I can't wait for the new Ric Flair to come out, and I can't wait for the ring to come out. But if they just continue to produce today's guys like AJ Styles, I'm not going to buy them. Christian Hafer says, oh, I see him. He's on top of the monster. Yeah, he's right there, man. Going forward, when we do different shows, like when I do the Wrestling with the Past show, I'm going to just move the set around a little bit so that you might be able to see the coffee table, which is right here, that you can't see with the camera. So I'll be moving back a little bit, and then all of these fun little things will be on the table, including Michael Myers. He's not going anywhere ever. He'll be here forever. Joe Smith says, I bet it's Chris's wife who left the thumbs down. I have nothing to say about that, Joe Smith. Bat Daddy Super Son, see you later, brother. Gonna eat some late dinner with Logan and catch some wrestling. Hey, man, thank you for coming on. Thank you for your support, continued support. You've been here since the beginning. You stuck it out through the break in the action with the old channel, whatever, and you're still here. So thank you for being here, Bat Daddy Super Son. Normal Joe says, I know I want to keep the memories, and I realize that I don't have that much footage or pictures. Yeah. So we're going back to that question about my picture. My pictures. Yeah, man, do yourself a favor, man. Save all that stuff. Any photo, that we keep or we take, or any video, we just archive it in like 3 different places. We've got it on thumb drives. We've got it on photo websites like Shutterfly. I've got DVDs made of the home videos and stuff. So we just have multiple different ways of saving our stuff. David Torok says, what is your favorite pop vinyl that you own? Totally down for Closing Time as the closer for our concert with you on backing vocals. Thank you, David. I'm getting my voice ready. 32 of you are here. The favorite pop? Probably one I just got. It's the it's over there. It's the 8-bit Freddy Krueger pop. They're doing these they're just doing these cool 8-bit style pops that are all blocky, like the I don't know, they're like 8-bit. It's awesome. And the Freddy Krueger one I love. I just grabbed him. All right, to keep it going here. Let's see, what do we got? Chaser, that's awesome, dude. Great story. Thank you, Bill Elson. Good night, Bill Elson. I know you'll watch this tomorrow. Thank you for coming by. You got to go to school, my man, tomorrow. Bill Elson is like 13 years old. He needs to get up and go to school tomorrow, so go to sleep. Bat Daddy Super Son. My best friend is Rob Kellum. Used to be Maestro in WCW. Through him, I became friends with Jim Cornette, Ricky Morton, Tommy Rich, and Barbarian. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Retro Dave, is the Hulkster that desperate for cash that he charges $99 for a signature? Retro Dave, that's cheap for Hogan. He's usually double that. He's usually in the $200 world. He's charging $99 for something called Flats, which is just like an autographed 8x10 or a magazine. He's going up as you get other items signed. Yeah. Bat Daddy Super Son says, had dinner with Cornette, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, Tom Pritchard, Dan Severn, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. That's pretty amazing too. Dan says, the world is safe, Jason, and I only have you to thank. Dan, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for me. I'm looking out for the future of this planet. So, you know what I'm saying. Triple says, what are your thoughts on the Mattel Retro Hasbro figures? I've been talking about that all night. I dig them. I want more old characters. Ian Ward says, any VCR games? Yep. I've got, where are they? I've got hockey, the NHL one. I've got Top Rank Boxing, which blew me away when I saw it in a thrift store. I've got the WrestleMania VCR game. I've got an NBA basketball game VCR. I've got the Clue VCR game. And that is about it for VCR games. I've got the Nightmare game. It's just called Nightmare. That's pretty awesome. That's a VCR game. And that's it. I'm not just crazy. These are all right here in front of me. All the video game or all the board games are right there. David Torok says, one good thing about being sick, being able to watch live streams on my tablet. David, are you okay? I know you've been wrestling with a cold. I hope you're feeling all right. Hope you're doing better. Get that voice in order for our concert. And more importantly, of course, get yourself better so you can make my intro to Wrestling with the Past, you know? Okay? Dan says, Dan Fryermuth, my man Dan Fryermuth, says, what was your favorite wrestling documentary made? To be honest with you, okay, so I don't watch a lot of the documentaries because I have so much like footage, and I know that doesn't make any sense because they do a lot of talking and you hear a bunch of stuff. But a lot of the documentaries have matches, and I've got all the matches basically, which we're gonna find out soon on Wrestling with the Past. My first, the first documentary I've ever watched was Beyond the Mat, and I loved that one. The second one that I watched was, I think it was called Wrestling in the Shadows. It was the Bret Hart one about the Montreal Screwjob. Loved that one too, because they were not WWE releases. They were done outside the WWE, so you got like a different perspective on it. Those would be my two favorites. Toby Atkinson says, which version of Sting do you like the best, Surfer or Crow? For nostalgia's sake, Surfer. I have all that footage, like I've said. I've got NWA / WCW from 1984 on TBS all the way up to the close of Nitro. So I've got a complete run. So I watched Sting be introduced to the world on NWA Saturday night on TBS 605. So that version of Sting will always be special to me because I watched him appear for the first time. Crow Sting, I think, was a really cool. It was just the right. It was a perfect transition. It was a perfect morph from that Surfer Sting character, because what really could Surfer Sting do in a more modern generation? So for him to kind of reinvent himself and go Crow, I loved it. I mean, you saw it coming early when Sting started to grow out his hair, and then you realized he wasn't a blonde, and you know you saw it happening. That was cool. But I'm partial to Surfer Sting. Eric Grubbs is new. What's up, Eric Grubbs? New sub here. Love the content and your awesome wrestling figure toy collection. Keep it up. Thanks. Eric Grubbs, I love new subscribers, and I love that you made it a point to come on the show, to come on the live stream and talk about how you're new. That's amazing. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Thank you for being here. And keep hanging out with us and leaving comments in the videos. We do live streams like maybe twice a month. We'll be doing these. All right, Dan Fryermuth, USS flag, Minton box, or the whole carded LJN Superstars 89 line? Holy balls, Dan. I mean, I'm assuming that I can only have one or the other forever, right? Or which one would I get first? Oh, man. Black card LJNs. Near and dear to my, they're the originals, they're the OGs. Black cards, got to. I mean, because there's so many weird ones that, you know, you didn't know existed, like Adrian Adonis and Elizabeth, and Savage has a black card. So yeah, give me all those. Absolutely. Xavier says, it's funny hearing you mention Johnny B. Bad. Mark Mero came to my church a few months back. He is now a nationwide did he let people like meet him? Because that's awesome. I didn't know that. I knew that he was a motivational speaker, but I didn't know he was doing like a speaking circuit. That sounds amazing. I would love to I would love to get to meet him. Normal Joe says, "Did anyone see the Andre Giant?" I didn't see it, and I'm looking for another way to watch it besides HBO. I don't have HBO or HBO Go or anything like that. So if there's another way to watch it, let me know. I heard it was awesome. Dan, school is already canceled for tomorrow here in Wisco. Yeah, we had a weird ice storm here in upstate New York. Um, Rochester, New York has been hit with two major ice storms in my life. One was in 91 and then one was in 2003, I think. So we are used to ice storms that knock down trees, power lines, and like shut down the world for a week. And so when they were talking about this ice storm that we were going to have in the next, overnight last night, we were all like, yeah, okay, whatever. And it was pretty much a yeah, okay, whatever situation. We got some ice. I had to scrape my windows this morning, but we're good. Cubano Negra. And Cubano Negra, I'm drinking a little Modelo Especial tonight. So, and I do prefer the Modelo Negro. So Cubano Negra says, "Do you own Karate Kid Remco figures?" Uh-huh. Or Goonies figures? Forgot who made the Goonies figures. Think it was Replay or something. Yeah, Reanimation. What is it, guys? Reanimator? It's not Reanimator. Reaction. Yes, Cubano, and welcome again to the channel. The Karate Kid figures are right there, my man. Take a look over my shoulder. And they will be featured in an upcoming Spotlight episode where we take a look in depth at these figures. So yeah, I got the whole collection up there, my man. I got the whole set. All right. Bat Daddy. Oh, I just lost all you guys. Hang on a second. I got to pee soon, so we're going to be peeing in a minute. Bat Daddy Super Son. Met Funk and Dusty many times too. Having a pro wrestler best friend is a great thing. Good night, brother. Good night to you, man. And good luck with your pro wrestler best friend and all the people you get to meet. Dan, my man Dan, says you are missing the NFL VCR game. I may have to get that one to you. Don't. I'm not missing it. It's somewhere. I absolutely have the NFL one. Why isn't it right there where all the other ones are? I have it somewhere. Don't gift it to me. Hang on, guys. Let me. What the hell? Do I not have the NFL VCR game? Hang on. I'll be right back. Wow. I do not have the NFL VCR game. That blows my mind. I really thought that I did, but I don't. I do not have the NFL VCR game. I don't. But I also have the AWA VCR game, which is, I'm not going to say super rare. It's not rare. It's just awesome to have that NFL, or I don't have the NFL game, to have the AWA VCR game. I'm still shocked that I don't have the NFL one. But I guess that was the one I don't have. Apparently. Yeah. Ian Ward, favorite VCR game? I'd have to go with the AWA one, just because it's got a tape of classic AWA wrestling matches. Dan Fryermuth, favorite wrestling theme songs? Ooh. Well, I think they're broken into two different generations. They're like songs that were developed and produced by like Jimmy Hart, or there were like real music songs. So Tom Sawyer for Kerry Von Erich from Rush, amazing. Freebird, Lynyrd Skynyrd for the Freebirds, amazing. Another one, Bites the Dust for JYD. Eye of the Tiger for Hogan. You know, the Ric Flair Space Odyssey or whatever it's called song is iconic. Iron Man for Road Warriors. I mean, those are just when you hear those songs, you go back to wrestling. And then there's songs that they would use, like the WWF would use, like the WrestleMania 1 theme song was what was the WrestleMania 1 theme song? I think it was Phil Collins. I don't know. I gotta pee. We're close to caught up on questions, so I'm gonna go pee, and you guys talk amongst yourselves. Let's try to figure out who that one thumbs down was, and I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. All right. Beer pees take forever, don't they? You think you're done peeing? You're not done peeing. Just keeps going. All right, where did we leave off? Ian the Wrestling King is in the house. What is up, Ian the Wrestling King? David Torok says, I'll be okay in due time. Jason, colds don't usually last this long for me. I just happened to catch a hell of a nasty one is all. Well, I'm sorry, man, and I hope you start feeling better pretty soon so that we can get back to work, my man. Shane Bice is in the house. What's up, Shane Bice? Nice to see you, my man. Glad you could join us. Hope you're still here. I know I didn't get to your announcement right away that you're here, but I hope you're here. Where are we at here? Catching up, guys. Don't worry. Jim Simon says Andre the Giant Doc is on YouTube in full. Saw it today on there. Okay, I will check that out very soon. I heard that it's very good. Cubano Negro says Daily Motion has the HBO documentary. It's really gold or good, whatever you meant to say. Goid works. Lots of backstage footage on Andre. That's awesome. I will check that out. Eric Grubbs, looking forward to your Wrestling with the Past videos coming up. My question is, what is your favorite tag team of the 80s? Okay, I know there's a lot. So 1A and 1B. I mean, all right, we'll go WWF 1A and 1B. WWF, surprisingly, is the U.S. Express, with which was Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. They, only because I almost think like they were the first match I ever saw as a kid, was Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo defending the tag team titles against somebody. And the British Bulldogs I loved as a kid. They came in at about Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid were actually in, and when we review the footage, when we go back and we do the years in review, you'll see that Davey Boy and Dynamite came in from Calgary with Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, but never they were trying to figure out what to do with them. So I have some footage actually of Dynamite teaming with Bret Hart before they knew what to do with those four guys. And obviously, eventually, they put Davey Boy with Dynamite. yeah, so Davy Boy and Dynamite came in at about 85 and wrestled as singles really, really briefly, and then they put them together. Same thing with Neidhart and Bret Hart. They wrestled as singles very briefly, and then they were put together. So, NWA. I love the really mean, invincible Road Warriors of the mid '80s, and I love any version of the Four Horsemen. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, a perfect tag team. I love Anderson and Blanchard. Tony Bauer, I'm meeting Val Kilmer, Donald Gibb, Larry B. Scott, Julie Montgomery next month. Pretty pumped. They will be my 12th year in a row at Motor City Comic Con. I would love to come out one day to Motor City Comic Con and hang out with you someday, Tony Bauer. So basically, it has to be worth it for me to come out there and meet. You know, there has to be somebody that I really want to meet. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm actually going. This is so exciting, you guys. I'm in Rochester, and Buffalo is like an hour from here. And I just found out that at this Comic-Con in Buffalo, Hulk Hogan is going to be there. And this is in May. This is like a week before my birthday. I am absolutely driving up to Buffalo and meeting and getting a photo with Hulk Hogan, which you guys will see the entire event. It will be filmed for you. And then the very next month, I'm going to Niagara Falls to meet Ric Flair. So in 1 month, I'll be meeting Hogan and Flair. Mind blown. Nunez says, is RetroCon worth a trip from Louisiana? And when is it? I could look it up, but I get lazy when I'm drinking. Me too. It's in... When is RetroCon, guys? This year. I don't know. It's later in the year. It might be December. Is it worth going? No. From Louisiana, no, because it's in Pennsylvania. It's one big giant toy show. It is. They have really bad guests. They have like voice actors, so you're not going to meet anybody that you've seen on TV. You're going to meet people that you've heard on TV. So like the voice of Destro or the voice of Leonardo or whatever will be there. This year it's the voice of Jem and some other, whatever. It doesn't, who cares? All it is other than that is a gigantic toy show. I'm going to go just because I like the getaway. I like to stay in a hotel all by myself without children for a night. And I like to drop $500 or $600 on toys. So I'm going to go. Would I drive from Louisiana to go? No, I wouldn't. But if you want to, let me know and we'll do our thing. We'll go hang out. Xavier, oh yeah, I got to meet him and get a figure signed. Haha, he's actually an amazing speaker and he does a lot for kids. Awesome. That's awesome. That was way back when we were talking about Johnny B. Bad, Mark Merrow, hitting up Xavier Sherwood's church. That's so cool. Retro Dave, do you have any interest in the Captain Power action figure line? That commercial from your last review prompted me to pick up the series on DVD. First of all, I love to hear that. That something that I did has prompted you to do something. That's awesome. And yeah, I mean, I was never a superhero kid. I never really got into superheroes. I loved the Incredible Hulk and the Greatest American Hero. I don't know if he counts. Yeah, I mean, look, if I had my way, I'd have everything. I mean, I would, this whole house would be toys. So yeah, sure, I'd love to have the Captain Power line someday, but I gotta pick and choose what I'm gonna buy space-wise. Ian Ward says, Eye of the Tiger for Rocky 3. Agreed. Cubano Negra. Amazon has the NFL VCR game for $28. You know what, Cubano? All of those VCR games I bought in thrift stores for $2.99. So I always see those VCR games in thrift stores. So I'll probably hold out to see if I can grab the NFL one for the $3 that I'm used to paying for it. Ian, the Wrestling King 83, I found a Hulk Hogan and Big John Studd LJN. Awesome. I'm glad you have those. Where are we at here, guys? Where are we at? Retro Dave. Retro Dave waits for Pet Monster to swallow Michael Myers. No, Christian Hafer is still here. My Pet Monster would never swallow Michael Myers. Michael Myers is the king of all that is horror, and he would slash and eat the My Pet Monster because Christian Hafer's still here. David Torok stares awkwardly at that creepy Jason mask staring back at me. You mean, where am I? That one? That's not a mask. He's really stuffed behind the shelves there. He's just, never mind. Normal Joe, does anyone collect vintage 80s Christmas decorations? Because I do. That's interesting. Shane Bice is still here. What is up, my man, Shane Bice? Shane Bice, what is your deal? I've seen your pictures and stuff on the Facebook and the Instagram. You look like a wrestler. Do you wrestle or do you, do you pick stuff up and put it down for a living and build up those jack? You seem like a pretty intense looking dude. Normal Joe says, what was that noise? It sounded like someone talking. Yep, that was me in the other room peeing and my wife coming down and catching me peeing. Big Beefcake is in the house. Oh man, I hope you're still here. Oh, Big Beefcake is here. Wow. Oh man, I hope you are good, my man. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm not going to say anything because your life is private, but you got me. You got me all twisted, my man. I hope you're doing good. I really do. Christian Hafer, explain a little bit more about Shawn Michaels. You said last time he wasn't one of your favorite wrestlers, but you've never seen him in a bad match. I also think I've heard you say he's one of the greatest ever. If so, why isn't he one of your favorites? Good question. I think it was because Shawn Michaels was a very unlikable person and character in the era that I watched him. Now, I thought he was great as a midnight rocker in the AWA. I thought he was great as a rocker in the WWF. And I even thought he was pretty great as the early boy toy, sexy boy, like 92 when he turned on Marty Jannetty and still had that Shawn Michaels look. I didn't like the guy personally, which, of course, I didn't know him personally, but I didn't like his stuff later on. The Click, the Triple H stuff, the D-Generation X with China and the Playgirl centerfold stuff. I just didn't like him. I liked him as he transitioned into more godly Shawn Michaels, I guess. I liked him in his retirement match with Flair. I thought that was beautiful, the Flair Michaels match. And I like him today, but I just didn't like him during that period of time, but never saw a bad match with the guy. Toby Atkinson says, Surfer Sting all the way for me too. I guess I'm behind. Cubano Negra says, favorite WWF wrestling video game, console and arcade? Good question. I mean, I've only played Nintendo, Sega Genesis, some Nintendo 64. So I can't really give you a favorite WWF console game. Here Comes the Pain, the SmackDown 2, or the PlayStation 2 game, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain with Brock Lesnar on the cover. I thought was ridiculously amazing. But it's been, I don't play, I haven't played modern stuff, so, but the console, WrestleFest, loved WrestleFest. When you would be the tag teams and you would have to win your way into the steel cage match. I loved that game. That was at a bowling alley in town, and I was always at this bowling alley, and I just didn't know if I was torn whether or not I would actually bowl, which I loved, or play this WrestleFest game, which I also loved. Michael B. What's up, Michael B? Who are you? Who's Michael B? I don't know if you're new or if you just got a different name, but Michael B is in the house. Which LJN wrestling figure was the hardest for you to get? I mean, which era? I mean, when I was first collecting them, I didn't have most of the black cards. I only had Big Boss Man and Haku when I was a kid. After that, I guess any of the black cards are the hardest to get. They're the most expensive. So those are the ones that it's not that I'm having a hard time getting, because they're out there. It's just, do I want to pay, the amount of money that they're selling for? Back in the day, Jimmy Snuka was really hard to get. So the line came out in 85, and by 85, by the end of 85, Snuka was gone. And so I don't know if they did something fishy with the LJN Snuka figures, if they pulled them or not, but I had the hardest time as a kid getting Snuka. Joker68, hey brother, did you ever want to go to Motor City Comic Con show? You can always crash at my pad. You can sleep in the Star Wars bedroom. Well, heck yeah, man. Let's do it. I just got to, if somebody that I want to meet is at the Motor City Comic Con, I'll be driving out to Detroit and sleeping in Joker 68 Star Wars room. That's awesome. Brian Short says, hey Jason, those shelves in the background are rocking. Yeah, that's my backdrop for most of the shows that we're going to do here. But I mean, when I do the Wrestling with the Past show, I'm just going to turn the couch around, and we're going to be our backdrop is going to be all the wrestling stuff. So Joker 68, I'll just have to take the Millennium Falcon down because it's hanging over the bed, and I don't want it to hit you in the head in the middle of the night. Actually, you know what, man? If the Millennium Falcon falls down and hits me in the head, I would be honored. So don't move it. Just leave it right there. What would be better to sleep in a Star Wars room and have the Millennium Falcon come crashing down on my head? That would be great. Triple says, my pet monster versus Teddy Ruxpin. Oh, no match. No match at all. My pet monster eats that thing alive. Shane Bice says, just a welder. Oh, okay. So Shane Bice, just a welder. You're not a professional wrestler. You're not a bodyguard or anything like that. Okay, just a welder. Big Beefcake. None of that, brother. We're here for fun. Yes, I know. And that's, I talk to people for a living, man, and I should know when to, put stuff aside and just talk. But I don't know, man. You were one of the first people I watched on here, or in those Saturday Night Horrors, man. I'm just a fan of yours, and I hope to be able to hang out with you someday. And I mean, you're not far away from me at all, so hopefully one day we can meet up at a convention or just meet up in general. And all the best to you, man. So yeah, let's just go back to having fun. You're right. All right, what time is it? It's 9:35, guys. I was going to do this until about 10:15, so we got a while to go. Michael B, mine was the LJN Bret Hart. Man, was that hard for one? Well, yeah, I mean, the single card Bret Hart is extremely hard for people to get. I don't have a carded Bret Hart at all. I mean, that's $1,000 figure as far as I last knew. So yeah, that's a very impressive figure. I did have the Hart Foundation tag team set, and yes, I know that that's like a holy grail, impossible to find $5,000 tag team set. I bought mine for about 300 bucks about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And for some stupid reason, 2 years ago, I sold it. And I only got like $650 for it. So I made money on it. You know, is it, you know, am I devastated by its loss? Kind of. I probably won't get another one, but I don't know. There was a financial crisis here or something at some point, and I sold the Heart Foundation. Dan Fryerman says, excluding anything wrestling related, what are your favorite toy lines? I love the Real Ghostbusters. I ripped through that line pretty quickly. We're not done yet, but we're almost done with the figures. There's 2 series of figures that I need. One is called Slimed Heroes. And there's another one. I just wish I could remember it. But one is called Slimed Heroes. I need the Slimed Heroes, the entire line of Slimed Heroes. And you don't really see them loose on eBay. You see them carded for like $60 to $80, which I'm not going to do. But Slimed Heroes is my next line that I need to complete for the Ghostbusters. And then it's on to the sort of the gimmicky stuff, the vehicles and the ghosts. And I should hopefully get that line completed in the next few months. And then it's on to, I don't know, Rambo. I'm going to try to knock off the Rambo line. I love G.I. Joe. That's going to become an obsession eventually. So yeah, that's the answer to that. Michael B says, I'm roughly new. All right, well, welcome to being roughly new. We're glad you're here. Dan, I thought I had tickets to WrestleFest 88 in Milwaukee, and I was all excited, and then we got there, and it was the Great American Bash Tour event. I'll take that. I'll take it. But WrestleFest 88 was that was like a non-pay-per-view huge event. That was like almost like one of the big 4 at the time. The WrestleMania, the SummerSlam, the Royal Rumble, and the Survivor Series. WrestleFest 88 was huge, and I believe it was Hogan and Andre in a cage. I believe. Christian Hafer, good explanation on HBK. However, his behind-the-scenes issues shouldn't take away from his greatness in the ring, which you agree he's fantastic. Isn't what happened between the ropes all that matters? Yeah, you're right, man. Absolutely. And in fact, that's what I have based any of my wrestling. You know, when people talk to me about Jimmy Snuka, when they talk about Chris Benoit, when they talk about anybody who's had a life outside of the ring that's unsavory, I try to, you know, stick with what we know of these guys inside the ring. So you're right. Dan Fryermuth, it was great, and I was 9 and didn't have control over tickets with a friend's dad who knew nothing of wrestling, so he had no idea. I mean, could you imagine, like, thinking that you're going to WrestleFest and then you end up at the Great American Bash? Uh-huh. I'm good with either. That's awesome. All right. Where are we at here? Cubano Negra, leaving the live stream to check out more of your LJN figure videos. Till next time, thank you for answering my questions. Cubano, that's how we do things here, man. You ask the question, it's going to take me a while to get to it, but we're going to answer it. I'm glad you're new to the channel. Go watch all those old videos. There was a bit of a period of time when we had a co-host sitting over here. He's gone now, and we're back to this whole thing. So, welcome to the channel. Normal Joe, do you have the pink skirt Elizabeth? I do. I have pink skirt and gold skirt. I bought pink skirt before it became this ridiculously hard to find thing. I believe like a pink skirt mint on card Elizabeth goes for astronomical prices. But I have both gold and pink. Michael B, yes, Snuka was hard to find too. I remember being in the back of my parents' car looking at the back of the toy package, looking at the other figures and saying, got him. I did not got him very quickly. I got Hogan and Andre first. And then I didn't get another LJN figure until that Christmas of '85 when I got Piper and all the rest of Series 1. Again, I still think Series 1A had the first 5 and Series 1B had the next next 7 or 8. So yeah, Snuka came way late for me. Got him, need him, got him, need him, got him, need him. Stotler Man is here. I finally made it. Yes, you did, Stotler. Welcome aboard. Shane Bice says Haku is very tough for me. Yeah, any of those later figures, which either were only in stores in Canada or not in stores at all. So you know that LJN and Grand Toys worked out some kind of deal, or Grand Toys was LJN Canada. I have no idea. But Grand Toys released those 89 series, and they were not in stores in the US. If they were in stores in Canada, that's amazing. But we were only able to get them through mail order. Christian Hafer says, TMNT, Hasbro's and Kenner, Batman, and Star Wars. TNG Playmates are my favorite toy lines. Those are fantastic. I got a bunch of turtles right over there. Kenner Batman, awesome. I mean, again, I would love to have everything, but I'll run out of room. I mean, this will basically become, there's going to be shelves right down the middle of this room, and it's going to be so hard to even move around here if I have my way and have all the stuff that I want. The Bearded Slasher. What's up, Jason? I see that my buddy behind you. I had one with brown hair as a kid and thought it was Chucky. Yeah. Yep. So you beat the hell out of it. Yeah. I remember you telling us that story way back in the early days of the channel, that you murdered your My Buddy because of the Chucky connection. That's awesome. Big Beefcake says, yeah, we're going to hang out one of these days. We are. Yes, absolutely, 100%. I think you're in Pennsylvania. Tell me if I'm wrong, but there are so many times that I get to go to Pennsylvania throughout the year. So RetroCon's going to be in Pennsylvania. There's something else that was in Pennsylvania as well. But, I can't remember. Chiller. No, Chiller was in New Jersey. Anyway, anytime, man. If we can meet up at RetroCon, let's do it. Stotler Man, my man Stotler Man says, a minute, do you want to add any more Dukes of Hazzard toys? Great question. There were 2 police officers released. One was Roscoe Pico Train, which was the common one, or the most known one. And the other one was, what's the name of the other cop? It's not Cooter. That's the mechanic. I can't remember the second cop. There's a second cop, and it's not Roscoe. And I can't remember him, but he looks just like, is somebody putting it up there? Cletus. Yeah, good. I haven't caught up on this question, but I can see it on my phone. That's right. Cletus. Cletus is the second cop, and he looks just like Roscoe. So it's almost like you have to buy Cletus on card so you know that you're getting Cletus instead of Roscoe. So I need a Cletus figure to complete the figure line. Now, there are some extremely rare and valuable vehicles that I don't have. I have the General Lee. There's a police car that is a Sears exclusive that is so rare and so difficult and so pricey. There's also Daisy's Jeep, which is so rare and so pricey. And there is, I believe, Boss Hogg's Cadillac, I think. That might not exist, but I know that there's a police car and there's Daisy's Jeep, and they're just so hard to find. I would love them, of course. Gary Furr, okay, brother, says, which character did the Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling cartoon make you love more as a character on WWE TV? Interesting. Oh, boy. That, if you remember that cartoon, probably Piper. Yeah, probably the Piper one. If you remember, that cartoon was like so racist for back in the day. You had this Tito Santana playing up all the Mexican stereotypes. You had Junkyard Dog playing up all the obvious black stereotypes. You had who else? Oh, Jimmy Snuka, was like this, Tarzan, like swinging from just Crazy back in the day. Retro Dave, did you see the American Defense action figures back in the day? Nope. If not, they were a sort of G.I. Joe knockoff that might have been a Kmart exclusive. Man, that's interesting. American Defense. Maybe it doesn't. It does. It's stirring up a little something. But no, not. Man, I know that there was definitely a lot of GI Joe knockoffs, and Kmart was pretty good for their. Kmart was pretty good for the LJNs, their GI Joes, and their knockoffs. So I probably saw them at Kmart because back in the day I was at that store's toy aisle a lot. Christian Hafer, so he should be one of your favorites then. Yes, never seen a bad match. One of the best all-time in-ring performers. Sounds like a fave. Fine. Shawn Michaels is definitely in my top 10 favorite all-time in-ring performers. Yes. The Bearded Slasher, you're right. Even though what Chris Benoit did was terrible, they want to try to make us completely forget about him. It's impossible since we grew up watching his talent in the ring. I agree. This is back when we started a few minutes ago when we were talking about how I separate the character from the real life person. That's what wrestling is, guys. You know, yeah, we could hate Chris Benoit. We could hate Jimmy Snuka for what he was accused of. Hulk Hogan has done some nasty stuff. Ric Flair, I'm sure, has lived a life outside of the ring. That, you know, I mean, come on, all these guys have, you know, they were on the road 300 days a year. They did dumb stuff. It was a boys' club. They had a bunch of fun. You know, we can't judge them for their life outside of the ring. That's not what we're here for. We're to judge what they did inside the ring. That's what wrestling is. Dan Fryermuth, do you have any recollection of which card back you spent the most time looking at, daydreaming of collecting what was on there? Absolutely the first 5. And I know that sounds weird, but I was getting a lot of the other ones pretty routinely. The first 5, there was a huge gap between me getting those and then the Christmas when I actually got them. So as an 8-year-old with Hogan and Andre, staring at the back of that box and seeing Sheik, Steamboat, and Big John Studd, awesome. I would stare at the back of that box all the time just looking at those 3 figures that I didn't have. Nunez says, any interest in the Kenner superpowers? Had them all as a kid. I currently have Joker, Batman, and Robin carded. I think that'll be it for me. They're a tad expensive. I have an interest in everything. I just don't have the room for it. Jeff Robinson is here. What's up, Jeff? I found my Haku and Andre carded in French at a place called Toy Liquidators. So you got black card Andre and Haku at a place called Toy Liquidators. That's amazing. Ring Skirts is here. What is up, my man? Ring Skirts is in the house. You guys know Ring Skirts is responsible for that WWF turnbuckle over there. Christian Hafer, they're great. My collection is expanding daily. Just got the Batcave for $185 in box. Nice. I'm glad that you have such a, you know, that you have a collection that you really are passionate about, that you'll spend $185 on a Batcave. That's awesome. And those are great looking figures. I mean, they're just classic, you know, classic superheroes. Shane Bice, in Canada, the Black Series was in every toy store and in my local drugstore. Wow. Wow. And I do remember when some toys would creep into drugstores. Absolutely. We had that here too. In fact, I remember our drugstores would sell those bootleg, not even bootleg, but those off-label Atari games. So if you guys remember it, the you know, what started that whole Atari video game crash thing was that all these outside companies were getting the rights or being allowed to make Atari games, or games that would work on the Atari, and they were horrible games, but they would sell these games. I remember going to like a drugstore and seeing these Atari games for like $3, you know, but they weren't by Atari or Activision or anything like that. They were these, you know, no-name companies. But yeah, I know that's amazing that Shane Bice basically had all these black cards at his fingertips. Ah. Big Beefcake, North Carolina, actually, but hey, good guess. It wasn't a good guess. It was a horrible guess. I don't know why I thought you were in Pennsylvania and you're in North Carolina. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. We can still do it. We're gonna do it. Ring Skirt says Cletus Ennis. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you for I looked at that. I saw it on the screen. Thank you, Ring Skirts. Stotler Man, do you remember the Smokey and the Bandit playset as a kid? No, I don't. I don't. And I have a book, a really cool old book that goes through a lot of awesome 80 toys, and that's not in it. But the MASH, the television show MASH, apparently not only had action figures, but a playset. I had no idea. And I definitely had no idea that there was a Smokey and the Bandit set. David Torok says, gotta go get some more rest and medicine in me, Jason. Later. I will catch you next time, dude. Later days. Good night, David Torok. David Torok will be in concert on this channel in the upcoming future, as he is responsible for all of my intros and all of my the Wrestling with the Past intro that's coming up. That is all handmade by David Torok. Christian Hafer, don't be patronizing, though. If he really is in a top 10, good. If not, he should be. He sounds like, he is. Shawn Michaels is definitely in my top 10 in-ring performers' favorites. Absolutely. It's not patronizing. Christian, getting out of control again, Hafer. Bearded Slash, my top 5 wrestlers of all time: Kane, Undertaker, Sting, Benoit, and Ricky Steamboat. Got no problem with those guys. Christian Hafer says the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line is my favorite. I have everything, not just figures and vehicles, toothbrushes, pillows, magnets, plates, bowels. You wrote bowels, B-O-W-E-L-S. That's not bowls, that's bowels. And I didn't know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles made bowels, but fine if they did. Bearded Slasher loves Alien toy line from Kenner. That's awesome. Jeff Robbins says Toy Liquidators was cool. Old toys that didn't sell, that they resold in a toy store. Crazier that you found Andre and Haku in 1993. Wow, man. Oh, that's mind-blowing. I cannot believe that. That is incredible. Retro Dave, did you ever watch the TV shows Equalizer or Matt Houston? No. And I'd have to think about Equalizer. I don't even know if I've heard of that one. Matt Houston I did, but I didn't watch it. Triple, didn't Remco make bootleg WWF figures too? I'm going to say that they didn't. Remco didn't, but a bootleg toy line really made figures that looked exactly like Remco's, and they were bootlegs. They made a bootleg Hogan and a bootleg Andre and a bootleg Iron Sheik. But I don't think they were Remco. I think they were a toy line or a bootleg line that looked a lot like Remco. Ring skirt. So since I came late, what is the drink of choice this evening? Modelo Especial. We've gone through like a 6-pack of these, and we're having a good time. And that's it. So if my wife is watching upstairs, if you'd like to bring me another one with a lime, that would be fine. All right, Stotler Man, toughest AWA Remco for you to get. The ones that I don't have, the Matt Mania series, are extremely difficult to get. Sheik Adnan Al-Kaisi, Nord the Barbarian, the Rockers. The Rockers are actually kind of easy to get. Buddy Rose is easier to get. Doug Summers I have. Who's the other one that's really tough? Boris Zukov. Very, very, very difficult, very pricey. All right. Ooh, I'm burping. Christian Hafer says, I know, bowls. Ha, 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 I know. Ring skirts, everyone makes bowels. Everyone poops. It's true. The Bearded Slasher, any more news on KB Toys? Ugh, hiccuping. I have not heard any more news on KB Toys since the last live stream. Jeff Robinson, yeah, Remco bootleg line was sold at the old dollar. Come on in. She heard us, ladies and gentlemen. She heard us. But she didn't put a lime in it. Oh, she did. Thank you very much. Remco bootleg line was sold at the old dollar stores. There you go. Yes, absolutely. Christian Hafer, I might hit the bricks. You've been great tonight. Thanks for being awesome. See you next time, brother. Christian Hafer, we have a little thing, but you are awesome. Thank you for hanging out and being a friend and being a fan of the channel. Thank you. Michael Myers sits up there. I like how you tell it like it is. You give your opinion. You challenge some people. I appreciate you. Please keep joining us on the channel. The Bearded Slasher. The next drink I'm going to try is Kraken Black Spice Rum. I never liked rum. Never. Dan Fryerma says, hi, Jason's wife. You've done a good job. We like him. She's upstairs watching right now. If she'd like to sign in to her YouTube channel and leave some comments here, please feel free. But Dan Fryermuth, who's an awesome dude, thinks that you're okay too. Stotler Man, did you finish the Pizza Hut the other night? Yep. The only thing I didn't finish that night was the Big Mac. You know what I did? The next morning, I had the leftover SpaghettiOs with Frank's, and I threw in some. We had some bacon from breakfast, and I tossed the bacon right in that bad boy and slurped it all up, and it was delicious. Thank you, Jason's wife. You are appreciated. Yep. Thank you very much. Gary Furr, I found He-Man to Hulk Hogan to be a very natural progression. You? That was you, Gary? All these Instagram names of not the real names that I'm used to. I loved that. Go check out Gary Furr's Instagram page, which might be not under Gary Furr, but somebody else. I think it's gone. I don't know. But yeah, he put the Ric Flair Remco with the big gold belt on top of Battle Cat, which is a beautiful combination. It's 10 o'clock, boys and girls. We're going to go for another 15 minutes. Get them in now as you can. There's 26 of us here. Bearded Slasher, I've never tried Modelo. I've drank Corona with lime, though. Same thing, my man. Same exact thing, just a cute little fat shorty bottle. No difference. Dan Fryerman says, my wife thinks she would like you and she doesn't like anyone. Well, I'm honored. Yes, she would like me. Of course she would. And we'll, let's get you a job here. Come on out to Rochester and we'll be pals. And your wife can come over and, I don't know what they do, but we can hang out down here. Jeff Robinson, did you have Toy Castle up there when you grew up? Nope. Nope, did not have Toy Castle. We had Toys R Us, we had Kitty City, we had Circus World, and we had Child Place or Child World. So we had a Circus World and a Child World, I think, but no Toy Castle. Dan Fryermuth, were you for Flair or Hogan in '94? Flair. I mean, I was a fan of Flair since '85. So when Hogan came to WCW in '94, I mean, it was amazing to see him. It was a super burst of nostalgia, but I was still for Flair. Devin Cutmore says, dude, I forgot. Devin, we're glad you're here anyways. We're glad you're here. Get all your questions in. Ask a whole bunch. We got 15 minutes to go. Ring skirts. You get to have one dream vehicle. Ecto-1, General Lee, WrestleMania 3-6 ring cart, and go. Ooh, man. You know what? There's so many recreations of the Ecto-1 and so many of the General Lee, I don't even know if I'd have the real one. If I could have that ring cart from WrestleMania 3, and yeah, I know it was in WrestleMania 6, I don't care. WrestleMania 3, the one that brought them from the massive Detroit Silverdome, where apparently these wrestlers who were in awesome shape could not walk from the dressing room to the ring, so they had to have a cart. If I had that cart, that blows away everything else in the world. Stotler Man, my daughter likes the Cabbage Patch Kids on the shelf. Your daughter's watching? Well, that's good, because this is family-friendly TV, ladies and gentlemen. We don't make fart jokes and say naughty words on this channel. The Cabbage Patch Kids up there, those are one of my favorite 80s toy lines. I love Cabbage Patch Kids. I've told this story before. To me, they are the first toy that began the 80s toy boom. So go look it up. Cabbage Patch Kids started this craze. Parents were fighting each other in the aisles to get their hands on a Cabbage Patch doll. It began the whole thing. Lisa E is in the house. Jeff Robinson, Hogan, WCW was a fish out of water. I agree. I don't think it ever really looked right. The NWO Hogan made more sense because it was a different character, I think. But WCW Red and Yellow Hogan, 94 Beach Blast, or Bash at the Beach, I didn't like it. Dan Fryermuth, favorite Ghostbuster. Watching the cartoon now, I'd say. Oh man, Peter's been upsetting me because he really gets on Slimer's case, and he really upsets Slimer in some of these early episodes. I got to go with Ray. He's level-headed. Actually, Winston, if you don't recall, is actually Arsenio Hall, which is pretty cool. Devin had hang on, Devin, we'll get to you. You had a really crappy night. I'm sorry to hear that. Lisa E is in the house. Lisa E is a new subscriber, new fan of the show. I told her engage with us and leave some comments, and she's been doing so. She's been leaving a ton of comments on our stuff. Am I gonna grow my Scooby-Doo collection? Yeah, I mean, if there's stuff out there, then I will. I got the Toys R Us had that little Scooby-Doo line. And I grabbed the pack of figures. They also have a pack of monsters, and they have the van. There's one Toys R Us in town with me still open that has, I think they're up 30 or 40%. So yeah, I'll probably grab that mystery machine, and if they still have the pack of monsters, then I'll get that too. But as far as I know, those are the only toys that are out there for Scooby-Doo. Toby Atkinson is still in the house. What's up, Toby? Are you a fan of the Lost Boys movie or movies? Being new to this channel, you will know that, claiming to love this decade as much as I do, there's so much stuff that I haven't seen, and it's been a really, really long time since I've seen the Lost Boys. It's definitely something that I need to do. Haven't seen it in a while. I'm sure I'll be a big fan. Excuse me. Devin, had a really crappy night, dude. Sorry. What's up? Hey, man. Devin, are you? Hope you're okay, man. Yeah. Hopefully, you had a really crappy night. Doesn't mean anything too crappy. Hope you're okay. If you're not, you know how to find me. Dan, favorite Hostess snack? Never a sweets fan, but I do love a Twinkie. And the fruit pies are good. But I was never like a snowballs. I do like a snowball. Devin got some sectars today. Yes, Devin is, I want all you guys to know each other and be friends and stuff. Connect with each other on Facebook. Devin, Devin has told me that he's really gotten into collecting from watching my videos and being a family member here of the New 80s Revolution. And so he's been killing it. He's been, sending me pictures of all the stuff he's been collecting and buying. And, Devin is onto that Sectars line, which is not a cheap line to complete. Triple wants to know favorite 80s drink. Man, aside from the soda, aside from... Kool-Aid was always a fixture in my house. We always had this Tupperware, container of Kool-Aid in our fridge all the time. And I remember like one of the best things ever was when Kool-Aid came out with this flavor called Berry Blue. And it was like a blue raspberry flavor. That blew our minds, my sisters and I at the time. Berry Blue Kool-Aid, tops of the 80s. Ring skirts, I just clicked too much and there go the I have half a mind to start a Patreon to get you that Mania cart just to see you drive down the streets of Western New York. We don't mention the word Patreon on this page, on this channel, my man, Ring Skirts. We don't talk about Patreon. And let me get another thumbs down. By the way, that thumbs down person never identified themselves. Are we surprised by that? Are we surprised by that? Never identified themselves. Came on, left a negative, took off. Wonderful. Yeah, if you want to start the, I think, what is it, GoFundMe? You want to start a GoFundMe page, get the New 80s Revolution, the WrestleMania 3 ring cart. Oh man, I would drive that thing to work. E. Nunez says favorite 80s movie, song, wrestler, and sports team. Oh, okay. Let me take 4 hours to answer that. Mine, Stand By Me, Dance Hall Days, Ultimate Warrior, and the Dallas Effin' Cowboys for Life. Ooh, let's talk about that. All right, favorite 80s movie? I don't know. I can't. Karate Kid, Back to the Future, any of Friday the 13th, any of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I don't know. Yes to all that. Favorite song? Favorite wrestler? Ric Flair. Favorite sports team? The Dallas Effin' Cowboys. I was a huge fan of the Cowboys in the 80s and the early 90s. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Jay Novacek, Michael Irvin, Elvin Harper. Loved me some Cowboys in the late 80s, early 90s. Jeff Robinson, NWO Hogan was needed because he was getting booed out of the building. Yeah, man. Modern crowds turned on the Hulkster. They were done with his Hulk Hogan shtick. And yeah, they had to turn him. And it was great. I mean, look what it created. It you know, I still can't wrap my head around Hogan as a bad guy. Like, even though he did the NWO thing for a good number of years, I still can't see Hogan as bad guy Hogan. I don't think he sees himself as bad guy Hogan, but it was needed, and it did such a great thing now because anytime he shows up anywhere, the roof blows off the place, and I don't think that would have happened if he didn't get a run as a bad guy. Dan Fryermuth, Boston Garden or Philadelphia Spectrum? I'm going to go for wrestling, and I have footage, a lot of footage. I have a ton of house shows from Boston and Philly. Oh, man, both had some amazing things happen. I'm going to say the house shows from Boston Garden I enjoy watching more. Tito and Randy Savage were in Boston Garden. Randy Savage won the Intercontinental title from Tito in Boston Garden. And Philly, I think Philly had some good stuff happen too. And when we get into wrestling with the past and we start going through that footage, we're going to see some house shows from Philly and Boston. Devin Cutmore, gotta go. Just didn't want to miss it. Devin, I appreciate all of your contact. I appreciate all of your Facebook messages that you send me. Keep them coming. You're a good guy. I hope you're doing well. Keep doing what you're doing, and you know what I'm talking about. Just do it, do your thing, and do it well, man. And if you need anything, hit me up. You know how to find me. Normal Joe is here. He made a funny, or a D or something. I don't know what he did there. Dan Fryermuth. Did you, oh, wait a minute. Hang on, guys. Hang on. We're getting there. Wow. 5 more minutes, I think, maybe. Dan Fryermuth, does your wife collect anything? She collects my money. It Cometh a Egg. I do like a snowball is the title of my ex's autobiography. I do know exactly what you're talking about. I think that's Clerks, and that's awesome. Good for you. It cometh, and I only would expect you, It Cometh, to bring that to this channel about your ex-wife enjoying a snowball. Jeff Robinson, do you have any of the Mask figure lines? No. Mask is a fantastic, amazing, wonderful toy line that I do not have, but why not? It's on the short list of stuff that I'd like to bring into the collection. I have the cartoon set. I think it's a ridiculously awesome line, and someday I will have it. I guess it cometh an egg. I still can't. I'm just still there with you. The Bearded Slasher. My favorite 90s drink was Squeeze-Its. Weren't they? They weren't Kool-Aid. I know what you're talking about. They were in that rubber bottle that looked phallic, and you would just squeeze it into your mouth. I know. Bearded Slasher says best Kool-Aid flavor is Sharkleberry Fin. I'll tell you what. Every once in a while, I hear something or I see something that just reignites memory. I have not heard the words Sharkleberry Fin in like 3 decades, and it's amazing that you just reminded me of that. Normal Joe, do you have any toy prototypes from any line? I do not. I appreciate people who like prototypes, and it's a huge market for collectors. I just never had any interest in prototypes, but I don't have any. Johnny Amore Paletta. Johnny Amore Paletta. Who the heck are you, my man? Welcome to the channel if you're new. Nice to see you if you've changed your name, but if you're brand new, welcome to the channel. Glad you jumped into the chat. He says, "How's it, brother? Would you ever part with any of your wrestling figures?" No, I mean, probably not. Not the, no. I have no reason to. No, this collection is not for resale. It's not an investment. It's not something that I'm just going to dump off in 20 years and just, make money off of. My children can figure out what to do with this in, 139 years, hopefully. Dan, did you ever wrestle pillows as a kid? Yes. Not pillows. I had some pretty large stuffed animals that I used to wrestle with. In fact, that silly character, Man Hammer, that you saw on some previous episodes with my previous co-host, Man Hammer was a character that I created when I was like 10. And that was the guy, that's who I was when I would wrestle these giant overstuffed, almost like carnival style stuffed animals, like those massive ones that you would win and then your parents would be pissed off because they had to carry them the whole time through the carnival. I would wrestle those things. Devin Cutmore, the word that shall not be mentioned. Yes, sir. Jim Simon, favorite 80s sports dynasty. Eek. I was not a... It's a good question, man. I wasn't like a super 80s sports fan as a kid. I can't answer that one. WWF. That was my favorite 80s sports dynasty. I didn't get into sports until like high school, like following sports and watching sports. So and then it would be like the Dallas Cowboys, the Chicago Bulls, of course. But before that, I didn't really, I wasn't into sports as a kid. I was watching professional bowling, TV, and wrestling. That was it. That was my sports as a kid. Sue's the nursing student. Who the heck is Sue's the nursing student? That's interesting. Sue's the nursing student. I have never heard of you, my friend. Are you new to the channel? I know a Susan, and she's eventually going to be a nursing student. That can't possibly be you. That would be crazy. But Sue's the nursing student is here. Are the Nintendo videos coming back? Yeah, the Nintendo videos didn't really do so well, popularity-wise, because I don't have that ability to I'm not emulating the game, so I can't do the screen capture and have me in a little corner over here playing the game. So basically, I'm setting up a camera in front of or behind the TV here, this awesome Zenith 25-inch console TV, and then you're just watching me play. Um, they were kind of unpopular, like I said, as far as viewers. But if you want them, yeah, we can play some Nintendo. They didn't seem to go over too well. Retro Dave, maybe the thumbs down came from your My Buddy sitting on the shelf. I'm thinking that as well. I'm thinking that when I went pee, which I might be doing again soon, I think that My Buddy jumped on and left a negative. He's vindictive and evil, and likes to do that stuff. Triple, I can see the news now. Traffic stand is in the streets of Rochester. Wrestle car breaks down on the street. Yeah, traffic is a standstill in the streets of Rochester. Wrestle cart breaks down. That's awesome. Yeah, that's probably what would happen. Actually, that thing would just sit in my garage or down here somewhere, and I don't know. I would just sit in it. I mean, think about it. That thing was amazing. That wrestle cart. Oh man, and then the rope, you'd like detach the top rope and you walk through. Unbelievable. Ring skirts, looking behind you, I get the sense that My Buddy has heat with Chucky. Any truth to that rumor? Look, stuff happens behind the scenes all the time, ring skirts. I mean, I can't police everything that goes on the shelves. If My Buddy and Chucky has beef, they need to work it out. They're going to be a part of this collection for a long time. They need to work together. I can't confirm that rumor, but it could be possible. Where are we? Jim Simon, who was the better big man, Bruiser Brody or Vader? Oh man, I mean, two different generations, man. Bruiser Brody was in a league of his own, and I think Vader was, Vader was. Man, I mean, Bruiser Brody's just a special guy. The stuff he did was just very unique. But I got a lot of love for Vader. I got to go with Brody just because he was just, that was a very unique character for that era of wrestling. When Vader came in, there was a lot of big, bruisers and rough guys. Bruiser Brody was, very special. Stotler Man, do you have any house shows from Market Square Arena in Indianapolis? I don't think so. What needed to happen was that those house shows needed to be filmed and aired. And I don't know if Indianapolis Market Square Arena had a channel, local channel, or a TV crew that would videotape the shows. Like Madison Square Garden, like the Spectrum, like Boston Garden, like the Baltimore Arena. And it's got to be called something else. I don't think it's the Baltimore Arena. But that's like the main four house show locations that were televised in the 80s by the WWF. Spectrum, Boston Gardens, MSG, and Baltimore. There were a few from like the LA Coliseum that made it to television, but unless you had a local channel that was broadcasting those house shows, then they didn't get taped. Oh, guys, our computer's dying soon. We got to get it going. Good to go or not to go. Devin, you can go, my man. I'm headed out soon. Dan Fryermuth making a cutoff line for you. Yep, I'm making it too. Devin Cuss. Bear, I should send you some Sharkleberry Finn. Please do. Johnny Paletta, I'm new, but I love the 80s. I'm a big fan. Thank you. IG is Saw. Do you have one too? No. Instagram. Yes, Instagram is the new 80s revolution. Go check it out. What's the rarest toy in your collection? I don't know. We're losing time. My computer's going to die. Do you have any arcade machines? No, but I really want one. I want Double Dragon. Johnny Amor said, thanks for getting my last name right. You're welcome. Lisa E., who gets to dust all this treasures? My wife. No, nobody does. Seth Anderson, I had to step away for an hour, but I wanted to see if you had addressed the elephant in the room tonight. Will you ever reveal the fallout between you and your former co-host? If not, we understand. I've done that before. There's not a lot of fallout to talk about. Chris likes to be in control and in charge, and he can go do that on his own channel. We're a channel of one here. I'm not led or directed by anybody. Blah, 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 blah. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the ad. Ian the Wrestling King. Thanks, dude. Nice. I got that also. Aveline Nupp is in the house. Would you like a second thumbs down for your comment about what I collect? No, go ahead. Please don't leave a second comment. The computer's dying. Jim Simon, Old Maple Leaf Garden. Yes, I do have some Maple Leaf Garden shows. We're going to end soon, guys. It's probably going to cut out. I'm going to take this right till the computer dies. My wife is mad that I said she collects my money. I'm sorry about that. Devin Cutmore, 3 cheers for Jason. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you all very much. This is awesome. I think we added a couple subscribers tonight. Seth Anderson, you're awesome. Keep it up. Thank you. You are awesome. I appreciate you and your support and your continued interaction on the channel. Cap Center, that's it. It's not the Baltimore Arena. You're right, Gary. It's the Cap Center. I couldn't think of it. I have a bunch of house shows from the Cap Center that we're going to look at when we do Wrestling with the Past. Dan Fryermuth, have a good one. Thank you, Dan. I will see you soon. Devin Cutmore on the way to 1,000. That's the goal, guys. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Tony Bauer, thanks, Jason. Killing it as always. Thank you, Tony Bauer, for being here tonight with us. And we're wrapping it down, guys. Retro Dave, thanks for the live chat and thanks for the AWA documentary recommendation. You are right, Retro Dave. You're welcome. Jason, best live show host ever. I agree. Jim Simon, thanks, Jason. Have a good night. Johnny Amore Paletta says, what you gonna do when the New 80s revolution runs wild on you? Devin Cutmore, this was the best. I agree. Keep on keeping on, brother. Ring Skirts, you and I are going to see each other real soon. Normal Joe, bye. Good night, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, that is another live show. Thank you all very much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go upstairs and go pee again and get something to eat and maybe have another Modelo Especial. Devin Cutmore cheered up my night. I'm glad, man. Hang out with us. We'll cheer up your night every time. I thought I was waiting for the computer to die but maybe that'll screw up the upload, so I don't want to do that. Drink on, said Devin Cutmore. Sergeant Legacy, Jay, have a good night. I missed it, just got here. Sergeant Legacy, what's up, my man? You are late. You're like an hour and a half. You're like 2 hours late. What's happening, Sergeant Legacy? When's the next live video? Let's do it again in 2 weeks, guys. I'm okay doing this twice a month. I think that's a great thing. Next up from me is going to be the ECW, the very premiere episode of Wrestling with the Past. If my man David can get himself healthy and make me that intro, we're going to do Wrestling with the Past, the ECW figures from San Francisco Toy Makers. And then the next video after that is going to be the Kenner Real Ghostbusters Spotlight. Brian Short says, enjoyed it. Thank you. Later, guys. Snowblind you. I showed up late. Is this going to be archived? Yes. We didn't say anything naughty tonight about former partners, so this live stream will stay up and you can enjoy it. Johnny, am I from Toronto, Canada? Nope, I'm not. I'm in Rochester, New York. Sergeant Legacy's upset. I'm sorry, Sergeant. 2 weeks, Sergeant Legacy, 8:30 on a Sunday. Be here, Sergeant Legacy. Those ECW's figures had a fun commercial that will be included in our live stream because I know how to do some editing now. Sergeant Legacy, I'll have to hear it. Yeah, just go back in maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. This whole thing should be uploaded. Dan Fryermuth, Aveline, are you going to do anything on the channel? Wife, I don't know if you're watching this. Her name's not really Aveline, but is she going to be doing anything on the channel? What do you think? You got like huh? No, she says. She said no. She screamed no. That's not true. We're going to get her on here, and she's going to talk about what it's like to have me living in this house as a crazy collector. Devin Cutmore, same 80s time, same 80s channel. 2 weeks from tonight, 2 Sundays from tonight at 8:30, we're going to do another live stream. We'll go a little bit longer tonight. Bill Elson is back. I'm sorry, Bill, I'm leaving. Johnny, now real brief, but how did you get those old school WWF figures? eBay, toy shows, flea markets. I started the collection about 16 years ago. I'll tell you that story. Go back and watch some of the old videos. I tell you the story about how I started recollecting. Bill Elson, Nikki Bella, and John Cena just broke up. What? On TV or in real life? That's crazy. I thought they were getting married. Anyway, Sergeant Legacy, you still got some beer in your hand? No, I don't. I know, real life, that's crazy. Johnny is in for our next live show in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's gone. I don't have any more beer left. Good night, boys and girls. Mostly boys, probably all boys. Lisa E was here. My wife was here. She's a girl. Thanks for hanging out with us. Cheers to Sergeant Legacy. I'll see you all later. My favorite fans in the world are everybody that were here tonight. Everybody who wasn't here tonight. This is the best YouTube channel on the planet. Keep checking us out. Tell all your friends. Get us to 1,000. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Love you guys. Good night. They're still going.
Oh, the third jar I want is Relissus, so you have to.
How do I stop this?
I took me forever. It took me like a half hour to figure out how to leave a comment. Because you had to start your own channel.
Stream forever. I don't know how to stop it. Cancel. Okay.